Very good morning to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us today. The era of iterative innovation, the agenda for this session actually provides us an immense opportunity to learn from the eminent speakers. I'm sure you will all agree with me on that. Perhaps at NxtGen, we've been practicing the same thing for, since maybe, our inception in August 2012. We actually created our vision, infinite data center, thinking that between what we can do for customers on premise and what we can do in our data centers, customers should actually have infinite resources to play with. So his business should not be limited by the infrastructure that is required. So at that time we did not know this is called hybrid cloud, but the reality is that we actually thought about this, and this was part of the innovation that actually created NxtGen. Not all changes can be forecasted, and we can be well prepared to face it, right? The world around us is changing so much. There is so much of exchange of information. There is access to technology and know-how. It is far easier than ever that we can adopt and make innovations possible. Earlier, our customers were more focused on market research, market reach, and competitive advantages. We now have new challenges. The challenges are primarily from external forces. This requires us to foster new ideas, new technologies, and perhaps new products. At NxtGen, I thought, I'll just share with you, how we've been thinking about this whole thing. So, when we started being a startup, we did not have the resources to actually disrupt infrastructure as a service. So, at no time, NxtGen was actually looking at disruption as an option for us, because our resources were limited and the area where we play is pretty vast. So, we focused on improving what is currently available. So this is perhaps what iterative innovation is. So at that time, when we thought we will actually augment the customer's on-premise infrastructure, we invented something called OPDC, which is on-premise data center, which is a pre-packaged data center with compute, cooling, and UPS, everything packed into it. And this helped us do a lot of on-premise facilities. Perhaps the first one we did was for Prime Focus, and we are pretty excited about how it came out, and we kept on going and improving that as we went along. We in the beginning we started using traditionally, like anybody else, we started using storage on a storage array network, traditional storage. But it never actually helped us address the performance requirements in a very large service provider kind of a situation. So we, in 2014, adopted all SSDs for our storage, and we built our own storage using ZFS. It is from erstwhile Sun Microsystems, which innovated this thought process on the XFS file system. And we used that, and then we shifted completely from a traditional SAN storage to a storage which was built in, and at that time doing it on SSD was actually pretty risky. But the real thing that happened with us is that we not just got very good performance, and the SSDs were very, very reliable. In fact, out of tens of thousands of SSDs that we have today, I don't remember replacing even one after about 8 years. But the most important thing that it delivered to us was that, we saved a lot of money. In fact, our storage costs went down from traditional SAN to a full SSD stack, which is built in-house. We almost saved 50% of the cost. So in my view, iterative innovation is about continuous improvement agenda. So I thought, I will share as to how we are thinking about it, so that if it makes any sense to you, so you could actually look at the same way that we are looking at innovation. As I said, we were never looking for massive disruption in our industry. We were actually looking at a continuous improvement agenda. And that's what we believe is iterative innovation. So what we started doing was that we were actually looking at continuous improvement or innovations based on activities based on our services that are being offered, even based on each of the departments that handle. I mean, even in finance, we actually looked at certain innovation. What this did was the organization learning actually dramatically improved, because whenever people are trying to do new things, they first need to learn something, sometimes even unlearn some things. And that actually helped the organization's talent to grow up dramatically. So today we don't look at infrastructure as a service as the way to go. I mean, we actually are looking at building a platform where applications can be built and run and scaled without hindrance. I mean, so we are actually taking the infrastructure as a service to a next level. We are adding new layers, new services from our side, where we are offering application development, where we pick up the idea and then we create an application out of it, even maintain it with DevOps as a service. One of the things that this new situation has taught us is that our data centers have to be human-free. That's a big agenda for us today. Even as we speak, many of my colleagues are actually living in our data centers. We have 4 of them operational now, and the teams have been living there for more than 7 weeks now. And this is necessitated that we need to rethink about what we need, how we actually operate data centers. And our agenda is actually build human-free data centers. What this would all lead to is that we need to now deliver digital transformation as a service. So it is not just about giving infrastructure to a customer. It is about actually delivering digital transformation as a service to a customer. So what does this mean to us is that we actually start talking to our customers, thinking about how we can add value with our combined learning from our internal experience and our experience with working with many other customers. How can we actually ensure that there is a transformation, not as a disruption, but more as an iterative innovation, where it is a continuous improvement that we can drive for our customers to address the market situations better. As I said, these days, I mean, the challenges are primarily external forces, and hence, I mean, we've not been really prepared. And this is the time to actually co-build and co-learn new things that actually help us keep our business going. In my view, what we've done with our cloud service today and the thought process of actually delivering an application platform to build technologies, build applications, scale them. These are the thought processes that actually are coming out of step-by-step innovation that we have built. And more importantly, what happened was that when we actually looked at each of our team members, we got so many new things that we can do, because each of them carried a wide range of talents, and we had to leverage all those talents to be able to continuously innovate. So when you are looking at this situation where, I mean, there is a pressure of actually innovating so that, our business continues to grow, I think it is important that we actually pick up few simple learnings and then make it happen. In my view, what we are doing at NxtGen is that we are focusing on differentiation rather than disruption. Disruption can happen. Perhaps one day there will be some new idea from somebody from my team that will help us build a disruptive service to our customers. But more importantly, I don't think we want to stop there. We want to continuously improve using an iterative innovation agenda. So how are we doing? We are making very small bets. I mean, it is not a massive bet that we want to make. The small bets are incrementally increasing our reach of technologies to more markets. So at NxtGen this year, what we have thought we will do is that from 4 of our locations where we operate our data centers and cloud infrastructure, we want to increase it to 14 progressively during the year. What is more important is that we kind of serve the customers' new agendas And hence edge becomes a pretty important agenda for us. This year, depending on how the pandemic allows us to do, we want to progressively build about 100 odd edge locations this year, but we have identified 236 locations where we want to build our edge. And perhaps in the near future, we should get to every single districts where all our 644 districts actually have a cloud infrastructure there. And we are actually building a fog of compute across the country. So it is not that we are building this massive fog at one go. It is about building it in steps, making sure that we are learning at every single step. We deploy few and learn. We've already deployed about 4 locations on the edge, and then we are making the next step and the next step and next step. What this does is it allows us to mitigate the risk, and it gives immense learning on the way. More importantly, I think it builds a lot of collaboration between the teams. I mean, people are now working between departments to make this happen. It has actually allowed us to react rapidly to a market situation. So with these thoughts, basically, I wanted to leave you all to this great learning experience that's coming up. It's about iterative innovation, primarily to rapidly react to market situations. And I think making small bets allows us to reduce the risk, improve greatly in terms of our team's learning. It will definitely make an impact on the business as we go along. Thank you so much, and I look forward to the sessions that are coming up.